The Pacejet address validation service can help shippers get a grip on data quality in their operations. So in this demonstration, we'll take a quick look at the address validation service, how it works, what it does, and how you can take advantage of it. So to start, in Pacejet, the address validation service is provided as an API. So for those that are familiar with that, it's an application programming interface that can be connected to a wide variety of systems. So if you want to connect address validation to your e-commerce site, you can do that. If you want to connect it to your ERP system, you can do that. Any application that needs address validation, you can use the Pacejet address validation service. Now, like other demo videos we've shown, there's a set of samples in the Pacejet application that lets you easily take a look at an API endpoint and understand what does it do, how does it work, how can it benefit me. So in Pacejet, on the samples page, there's an address validation service. You can see and drive a little bit some of the examples of address validation and correction. So let's start with a simple example with our address here in Columbus, where I just run it through the address validation service with a default method, and you can see that it automatically uses postal standards to standardize and check and correct. So in this case, we went from a 4-digit zip code out to a 9-digit zip code. It also tagged this as a commercial address here for Pacejet. So when we talk about address validation, it's actually a broader topic in that we're correcting, checking that it actually exists, that it's a correct address, cleaning up the quality of the address, and attaching additional data such as the automatic commercial or residential indicator. So when you think about how you're going to use that in practice, that can do things like automatically activate in Pacejet quoting or shipping the residential flag so that carriers know to apply an appropriate charge or to keep that charge out of the quotes. So not only does it keep you from shipping to the wrong address and avoiding irritated customers, but it also can avoid unnecessary charges by correctly marking addresses with the information you need to improve how your operations work. So in this example, you can see that we get the fact that this is a verified address back and also commercial in response to that. So that's the first example. Now, another example that we can look at through the API specifically sets a method. Now I'll run this correction with a slightly different address, and you can see it's corrected, marked commercial as before, but notice with this particular method there's additional data that's attached to addresses. So there are multiple methods. This is a multi-carrier address validation solution, which is a unique and we think powerful aspect of Pacejet's solution. So we're connecting you to a range of services that you can choose from. So you can use the FedEx service, you can use the UPS service, you can use the USPS service, or you can use a service provided by Pacejet. So in this example, the service I'm using not only checks, corrects the address, but it attaches some information that can be helpful for other business processes. For example, accounting. So if you want to run an automated tax calculation and you need the county tagged to an address, you can do that. Or a postnet barcode. So if you want to group your shipments in order to get more discounted processing with mail consolidators, you have a way to do that. So there's a number of other data points that are included with this particular example that happen to be supported by this method. And we'll look at one other example here, and this one we're going to use the FedEx method. And same thing, same effect. This time we're using a PO box in the process. So that gives you a quick look at how the API works. So from a programming perspective and an integration perspective, this can be connected directly. It's a RESTful API to any system that wants to take advantage of the service. Now, how does it work within Pacejet? Well, next thing we'll do here is see how you can activate address validation directly within Pacejet to take advantage of it. Let's say you don't have it integrated to your ERP, or you don't want to do it on your e-commerce site. Can you just use it as part of your rating and shipping within Pacejet? And yes, you absolutely can. So we'll take a look at using NetSuite here, an example order that we've entered in the system, and we'll run a freight quote off of that order with address validation activated. Now, as Pacejet takes a look at the address, it will automatically check, correct it, and note any issues. So you can see here, this is an example where the address was validated, but the secondary suite number is required and was missing from the request. So the user can make a decision. Do they want to stop, go get the correct apartment number, which would be recommended, and correct it directly, or go back and correct it in the original order. So it's that easy. All you have to do is turn on address validation. It's seamless. It happens behind the scenes. We check, correct, mark the residential flag, and then all of your shipments that are processed through Pacejet have addresses corrected with the additional data that's necessary. So with address validation, you have lots of choices. You can connect it to any system. You can easily change between different carrier services to find the best service that provides the most coverage for different international countries and different types of data. And then you can adjust that as your needs change over time.